Bonjour à tous and welcome to Like a Parisienne. In today's video I'm going to create an elevated version of the no makeup look. It's early in the morning here, so first thing I'm starting with my skincare routine, and I'm not going to skip a step. If you're in a hurry you can skip some of the steps of the skincare routine. I feel a little bit sleepy. I like to start the day quite early. I like to wake up early so that I can pay attention to my skincare routine most of the days. And this is going to be my full skincare routine. Sometimes I'm going to cut some of the steps that I'm going to show you here, so it all depends on the day and how much I'm in a hurry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my hair back. Okay, now that we have my hair out of the way, I'm just going to quickly cleanse my face, and of course I wash my face in the morning. I spray also generously with Vin thermal spring water, but I don't use a foam cleanser these days because it is the winter time and I prefer to use a milk cleanser. I like one by Lancome, which currently works so nice for my skin. I'm just going to quickly cleanse my face, and this not only refreshes my face, but I feel like it's a lot more nourishing for my skin and helps with the dehydration of my skin lately. Okay, and my cotton is actually quite big, so I'm using half of the cotton for the cleansing milk, and the other half of the cotton I'm just going to place some toner. Again, I'm using the toner from Lancome. Place this all over my face. Then I'm going to be moving on to another toner, and as you can see I only use a drop, so a little goes a long way with this one. And this is actually this one in particular I had with the Lancome advent calendar that I was talking about a lot about this advent calendar. It was really good quality for the price. And again, I'm taking this down to my neck as well. Okay, next we have an additional step. I'm going to be using an eye mask. I don't use an eye mask or a face mask every single day, only the days when I want to feel a little bit more special. And I love to try new face masks because this is my special moment. I prefer to wake up early in the morning and have my special moment with having my coffee and having a proper skincare routine. But sometimes, you know, if I'm in a hurry and I have to get ready very quickly, prepare breakfast and everything, I'm just going to skip some of this steps, and I am going to skip the mask step, of course. But today I just want to treat myself, and I like to try new masks. This one I have never tried. We're gonna try it together. And this one is with vitamin C. It has a cooling effect, and I have this mask straight from the fridge. It looks quite small. Oh, there is only one? I wouldn't believe it, but there's only one here. It's unbelievable. Okay. How can they put only one inside? Oh yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed from Garnier, but anywho. So that's why they are so affordable, apparently. I'm gonna take a scissor and cut this into 2 small pieces. Okay friends, so this is the mask cut into pieces, and I have to say that I'm quite disappointed now. Here I did not expect. Of course I just grabbed this from my local drugstore. Sometimes I'll just go in my local drugstore and grab some of the more affordable masks, which I'm going to be using in the morning or in the evening just to feel a little bit better. I have to say that there's a lot of serum here, but I'm a little bit disappointed. Like, how can you put one pad, like for people like me who don't read, and it says like 1 pair of patches. I'm going to wait for, it says 15 minutes here. I really don't have 15 minutes, but I'm mostly going to wait for like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to check up some of my emails and probably reply to some comments. In the meantime, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram because I'm very active there lately. I try to post every single day some reels, and also I try to be very present in stories, and it's very quick also to show you some comparison swatches sometimes on Instagram. So please go ahead and follow me. So I waited around 10 minutes, and I have to say that there is a lot of serum inside. So they are very generous in terms of serum. So I would say just take scissors and, you know, resize them, make them a couple because they are also very thick, as you saw. So I'm definitely going to be using them, but resize them. Now I have a lot of serum here, and even though I massaged it into my skin, I am going to just wipe this with a cotton because sometimes it may interfere with the makeup that I'm going to apply. Next, moving on to my favorite serum. This one is from Genifique. I love this serum a lot. Using just a little bit and all over my skin. Next, following with the other favorite serum, I have been repurchasing these two serums for a long time, and I always go back to them because I really love them. This is the Renergy Triple Serum. I always apply Genifique also under my eyes. And for eye cream, I'm currently using one that I had with the Lancome's Advent Calendar, which I quite like. It's not very moisturizing, but it is anti-aging eye cream. This is their absolute eye cream. I love the face cream. The eye cream, I am a little bit in the middle. Like, I really like it. I use it right now, but I wouldn't buy probably the full size of this cream because I don't see, it's very expensive and I don't see that much of a difference, but makeup applies beautifully on top, so I think it has nice anti-aging benefits. Probably have to use it more to see actual difference. And then also makeup applies beautifully on top. It doesn't make the under eye area greasy, which is a benefit. And then we're moving on to my face cream. I'm currently using the Lancome Hydra Zen gel cream, which works like a dream for my skin because my skin has been slightly dehydrated, and I think this is going to be also my favorite moisturizer for the summertime, but it also somehow keeps my skin very smooth. I've tried the cream, I don't love it, but the gel cream is the one that works so well on my skin. Next, I'm gonna have plenty of Nivea Lip Balm. Next, again, this step is going to be optional, but I'm going to have a breakout here and here, and usually on the places where I'm about to have a breakout, I'm going to use an ice globe. You can use a spoon if you want that, you just put in the fridge, but it usually helps to calm down inflammation and prevent the breakout from actually breaking out. And this is what I do, and it usually helps me a lot. This is a trick that I learned from my dermatologist. And placing an ice globe or some cold on, you can feel it when a breakout is about to come out. You can usually feel it, so just place some cold because the cold is reducing the inflammation and usually allowing the breakout to heal faster, or sometimes they even don't show up. I'm going to show you two of my favorite sunscreens that I like to use when I use makeup. One is from La Roche-Posay, and this is the European version of the sunscreen. I'm pretty sure that in the US the formulations of La Roche-Posay are a little bit different. And then the other one is from Estee Lauder. Today I'm going to use the Estee Lauder one because it feels like a gel texture, and I'm into gel texture right now, so this is what I'm going to be using today. Now, this is most certainly the most important step in my skincare routine, the sunscreen and my coffee, of course. For my base, I'm going to be using my favorite Givenchy Prisma Libre Skincare Glow Foundation. And I love to use this foundation when I want to create the no makeup look because it is moisturizing, it is beautiful. They also have a matte version of this foundation, but I prefer the glowy foundation. And I would recommend this one to anyone except for people who have oily skin, because if you have oily skin, you might find this one to be too glowy, or you will have to use powder, but I find that it just blends beautifully into the skin and doesn't emphasize pores or fine lines and really gives you this very flawless complexion. So sometimes if I don't have the time to wait for a few minutes for my sunscreen to absorb fully into my skin, ideally I'm going to wait for 5 minutes for my sunscreen to fully absorb into my skin, and then I can use my brush to apply the foundation. But if I didn't wait, I'm usually going to use my fingertips and just place the foundation, tap the foundation into the skin so that I can get the most flawless effect. And other brushes that I really love to use with this foundation and any foundation really are the Chantecaille Buff and Blur brush and then the Clé de Peau foundation brush. These two are irreplaceable in my collection, my all-time favorite brushes, and I need to repurchase both of them because these are getting a little bit old and they are starting to shed, but I wash my brushes quite often and I've used them already for a couple of years. Okay, and there we have it. Now the most important thing when you're creating the no makeup makeup look is to apply thin layers. Work with thin layers of product so that it's not too visible that you have foundation. And if you apply a thick layer of foundation and if you apply a lot of product, then that's when it becomes visible and you're losing the point. It's not going to be a no makeup makeup look. The whole idea here is to create a look that is going to look natural, that people are going to be tricked that you look naturally beautiful. So that's why don't try to Photoshop completely all of your imperfections. And I would say if you have some teeny tiny breakouts somewhere, like little bumps, you can use an eyebrow pencil and dot a little on the brush, like apply the foundation first, obviously, but then you can use a little brow pencil that if you dot on the little spot, you can turn it into a freckle. So this is a technique that you can use, but don't try to completely Photoshop erase everything, because then this is not going to be a no makeup makeup look. I'm going to be using a little bit of concealer still, and you can skip this step if you want to. I'm using the Sisley concealer, taking some on the back of my hand. I'm going to place it only here on the places where I need it, and try to avoid placing concealer on the parts of the face and under the eye where you might have fine lines, because it is going to crease during the day. Whatever you do, it's going to show up as concealer. And here we are creating the no makeup makeup look, so that's why I'm applying the concealer only in the inner corners of the eyes, where usually a lot of the Caucasians are going to have darkness, especially as they reach the age of 30, 35 years old. Like I'm 37 years old now. So I'm starting to have this darkness here, but I'm going to keep the concealer only in the inner corner of my eye and blend it, pat this with my fingertips. So the whole idea here is to accept some of the imperfections. It is going to be an elevated look, so it's not going to be completely like no makeup look. We are creating an elevated version of the no makeup makeup look, which I personally prefer because it gives you a little bit more confidence. But usually the no makeup makeup look, the actual no makeup makeup look, actually takes a little bit more time, because you have to apply the product in a way that everything is going to be invisible. You're going to trick people that you are naturally beautiful. Next, I'm taking a damp sponge and I squeezed out the water really well from the sponge. I'm going to be using a little bit of my Givenchy Prisma Libre powder. This is the best powder to erase pores, but at the same time keeping it very natural. So I'm going to take all of the excess of the powder on the back of my hand and I basically have nothing left. So the whole idea is just to give my skin a little bit of a filtered effect here, but it doesn't add any coverage. So I'm going to apply only here, then in the center and on the chin. But this trick is not going to happen if the sponge is dry. You're not going to get the same effect. So make sure to have the sponge wet. It can be a beauty blender. This one, the one that I'm using, is from Givenchy, but it was a gift with a purchase. I'm just going to pat with the sponge. I almost don't have anything on the sponge, so it's a very small amount of product, but it's going to give me this a little bit more airbrushed effect. Then I'm going to lightly fill in my brows. I'm using my favorite Floris's brow pencil, and again here, keep it natural, keep the eyebrows quite natural. Even if you have some gaps, don't worry about that. Don't be too precise, because this is all about creating the natural look. So naturally your brows are never going to be very photoshopped, and it depends on how much you plucked your brows. Fill them in the beginning, but also leave some gaps, so don't make them completely perfect. Next, we're moving on to blush, and you can choose the blush that is going to complement your skin tone. I usually choose something that is not too pink, but I usually would choose something that's a little bit more peachy. Like this one, this is Chouchette from Westman Atelier. This is the one that I usually go for, and I always use my fingertips when I want to create the no makeup look, because with fingers I always have a little bit more control. So I'm just going to tap the blush, but a little bit of blush. Because I don't have a lot of foundation, I have a very small amount of foundation, so that's why I don't want to use too much blush, because we are creating this no makeup look. And I'm applying the blush high on my cheeks. And if you want to see my technique on how to lift the face and how I like to apply blush, you can watch it in this video or here. I'm going to make sure to link it on how to sculpt your face beautifully. So don't overdo it with the blush. So that's going to be it for blush, and then for highlighter I'm going to be using a little bit of my Gucci highlighter. This is the most natural looking highlighter, and choose something that does not have shimmery particles. This is exactly this kind of highlighter that doesn't contain any shimmery particles, and I'm going to use just the teeniest drop on my fingertip and touch the high points of my face, just to make it as if my skin is naturally slightly glowy. I'm going to touch also here. But the key here is do not use a highlighter that has shimmery particles. And if you don't have a highlighter, you can use a little bit of face oil, rub it between your fingers. It has to be like half a drop or even less. Rub it well between your fingers and just touch the high points of your face. This is how you're going to get a natural glow. But for the no makeup look, an actual highlighter with shimmery particles is a no for me. Okay, and this is going to be it. For my lips, I'm going to be using a combination of Chanel lip balm and a lip liner, a little bit of lip liner, just because my lips are quite thin and I want to make them look a little bit bigger. I want them to look natural, but at the same time, I want to shape them a little bit and want to make the lip color a little bit more long lasting. That's why I'm going to be using a combination of these two products. And the lip balm that I'm using is in 928 Pink Delight. This is a color that is very almost, let's see, actually, color here is actually quite similar to the Westman Atelier Chouchette. You can use, if you want the Westman Atelier Chouchette, you can use it on the lips as well, or any kind of Westman Atelier blush. You can use it on the lips as well. But I find them to be a little bit drying on my sensitive lips, and that's why I prefer the Rouge Coco Balm. First, I'm applying the lip balm all over my lips and following the natural contours of my lips. And then I'm going to be using the lip liner to shape my lips a little bit and to give them a little bit more volume. So I'm taking the lip liner and going a little bit over the lip balm, but I also want to enhance the lip shape a little bit. I always like to make my lips a little bit fuller. So I'm going to go very lightly over the natural contours of my lips. And also I want to keep the look natural, so that's why I'm going to apply the lip liner slightly also all over my lips. So most of the times I'm just going to stop here, and this is absolutely enough for the no makeup looks. Sometimes if I want to elevate the look just a little bit more, I'm going to curl my eyelashes and apply a little bit of mascara, and sometimes I'm going to apply this mono eyeshadow from Chanel because it just adds a little bit of shine to the eyelids. This is what I'm going to do today, but you can stop here. Right here, I think that everything looks very, very natural, very beautiful, polished. At the same time, it doesn't look as if you're wearing a lot of makeup, and everything looks quite perfected and a little bit elevated. So I'm going to be using this mono eyeshadow from Chanel. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's 804, and I'm going to lightly apply this with my fingertip all over my eyelid. And what this does is just adds a little bit of healthy sheen to the eyelids. And it takes a few seconds to apply. Next, I'm taking any kind of a brown eyeshadow, matte brown eyeshadow. I'm going to be taking this one from the Charlotte Tilbury Sophisticated Eyeshadow Palette. Just a little bit. I'm tapping the brush on the back of my hand, and I'm going to place the color lightly just on my lower lash line, very close to the lash line. It's almost going to be invisible, but this is going to create the illusion that you have thicker bottom lashes. Most of the time I'm going to skip this step because I have naturally very long lower lashes, but I want to show you how you can cheat a little. And also right here at the very outer corner of the eye, I'm applying the color. And as a final step, I'm going to curl my eyelashes and apply mascara. Now, I always curl my eyelashes if I'm applying mascara because I have very long, thick lashes, but they are very straight, and it looks somehow weird if I apply mascara without curling them. So here, customize the look so that it can suit your own features. You may skip the mascara, you may apply a little bit of mascara, or you may just decide to curl your eyelashes and leave them without mascara. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Hypnose Drama Mascara by Lancome. And this is going to be the final look. For my nails, I have chosen a pretty pink nail color. This one is from Dior and it's Ruban. It's one of my favorite colors for this kind of a very clean, very polished makeup look. It goes with anything, I would say. It looks very beautiful on short nails and long nails. It's one of my favorite colors when I want to keep it really low-key, natural, neutral, and really pretty, very sophisticated. I love this color a lot. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and let my hair free, if we can say so. And that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching Like a Parisienne, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, bye!